Welcome back to Bruins Game Reactions. Boston Bruins win 4-1 over the Eastern Conference, former Eastern Conference leaders, Washington Capitals. They would have been leading had Boston lost tonight, but they didn't. They won. In a game in which they played without David Pastrnak for more than half of this game, and they lost their David Pastrnak replacement for the final 15 minutes. David Pastrnak left the game with about 12 minutes left in the second period. Undisclosed on what the injury was. I didn't see it. The broadcast didn't seem to catch it. It's just unknown, hence undisclosed. Oliver Wahlstrom, he played a great game. Unfortunately, gets 5 in a game for boarding. I skipped to the third period. Here's the timestamp for it if you want the explanation on that. That's a soft call to me. Brad Marchand stays hot as a pistol. 10-game point streak now. That is only his, I think, third or fourth of his career, which is kind of crazy. I mean, he's having a great little resurgence in the second half of the first half of the season. So, second quarter of the season, whatever you want to call it. He was lights out tonight. 2 assists, 1 goal. Almost said 3 goals. Oh boy, that would have been fun. And yeah, Jeremy Swayman played pretty dang good. I'm not going to complain. Only faced 13 shots, so yeah, not the greatest performance. But I mean, for him at this point in the season, it's just getting those little baby steps in, moving up slowly in the save percentage and goals against category. But yeah, with that, let's get right into the first period recap. First period kicks off, and there was 1 goal, 2 penalties, 1 on each side. Both of them were fair penalties. The Washington penalty call was a bit soft, in my opinion, but overall, it was a relatively even period. Just kind of back and forth, no one really generating much offense. There was under 10 shots total in the period. Shots were about 5-3 or 5-4 in favor of Boston. The 1 goal was on the Boston power play, and I mean, they just came in with numbers. Had Justin Brazeau drive the net on the second unit. David Pastrnak gets caught out with them. And, I mean, when you got a guy like that out in front of the net, just shoot it on and hope it goes in. Because get to the net, you've got a better chance of scoring from there. Especially with a power play that's struggling. And that's exactly what happens. Deflects off Logan Thompson a couple times before Brazeau finally gets it by him. And yeah, with that, Boston goes up 1-0. The minor against Boston was Mason Lohrei. First penalty he's taken in a couple games. They've been a lot better with that, especially in the past couple weeks. Not taking so many stupid penalties. This was a stupid penalty, unfortunately. Gets his stick caught between Alexei Prodos's legs, and down he goes. Maybe sold it. I mean, you could have called it hooking if you didn't want to call it tripping. Yeah, I mean, Swayman's look good. It says there's only 4 shots. He's made more than 4 saves. At least 6. I don't understand how the shot counter works. Obviously, if you do, I would be more than happy to learn about it if you would like to explain it to me in the comments down below. So yeah, let's get right into the second period. Second period comes to a close. Washington gets it tied up, unfortunately. Uh, I've got a bone to pick with these refs today. That low eye call was maybe a tad soft, but fair. That boarding call on one of the Washington players, I don't remember who, that was soft. And the next two calls that came in this period were worse. Brandon Carlo gives noted big guy Tom Wilson a little love tap on the shin with his stick, and Tom Wilson falls down like he's just been shot. Am I salty because that led to a power play, which led to a goal? A little bit. Am I salty because that was also an incredibly soft call on someone who is very good on their skates? Yes. Yes, I am. And then Matt Roy goes to the box for tripping. Again, a soft call. Like, I get wanting to make sure that you get the calls right, but in getting the calls right, you're also missing a bunch of calls at the same time. This is honestly probably the most in-depth I've gone on refs this season. But it's crazy. Like, do you want to keep the players safe, or do you want to keep the flow of the game? Because right now, it's second period's over. There's been 4 minutes worth of penalties on each side. And all four of which arguably couldn't be called, or could arguably afford to not call any of them. I don't know. Boston leads in shots 13-7. They got 7 this period. Washington got 4 in the second. Get more shots on goal. Gotta find a way to dig in here. Get ideally one more goal. Best case scenario, you get 2, and you get the win. Jacob Vrana gets the goal for Washington. Pierre-Luc Dubois feeds Jacob Chikrin at the point. And, yeah, I mean, Chikrin's looking like he's going to pass all day. And he does. Taps down to Jacob Vrana and just tees off on one. And before Swayman barely has time to react to the shot coming, it's by him. That's one I'd like to have back, to be honest. I also think this game remains up 1-0 if that penalty's not called. That was the Carlo penalty on Tom Wilson. But what are you going to do? These guys are calling everything, so maybe take a dive. Wouldn't be the worst idea. Take a dive, see what you can get away with. Wallstrom has been really noticeable tonight. He's had a few chances, a couple shots on goal. I haven't seen a full line with it, but I believe he has replaced David Pasternak, as he was missing for the final 12 minutes of this period. I mean, it's one game. You don't have any games until, I think, New Year's Eve is their next game back. They might have one more just after the Christmas break. Sit him. Don't let Pasternak come back into this game. Clearly he's got something going on, because he hasn't been putting up the monster numbers we've kind of come to expect. Hopefully this isn't long term. if it is, I wouldn't hate to see what this team can do without him. As unfortunate as that is. Yeah. I didn't quite see what happened. Uh, During a couple TV timeouts, the broadcast said that Pasternak took a couple little laps just around the front of the bench, went right down the tunnel. Uh, Obviously, I mean, you hope he's okay. Don't don't let him suit up for the rest of this game. Uh, just for his sake, for the team's sake. If Pasternak has 2 goals in him and Washington beats you by 1, oh well. Uh, that's gonna happen, unfortunately. So with that, we're gonna head right into the third period. All right. Third period recap. Where do I begin? Um, okay. Right from the top. 30 seconds into the third period, or not even, actually. Probably closer to 20 seconds. Oliver Wahlstrom shoves Farivari into the boards. That's 5. That's what gets you 5 in a game in this league. Man, I mean, I don't like that hit. I mean, it wasn't a hit, it was a shove. I don't like that shove. Should it be a penalty? It probably should have been. No. Not 5. Not 5 in a game. No. That's absurd to me, to be honest. That's not me even being biased. Like, if you want to not, like, if that's 5 in a game, then you're gonna have no puck battles into the corners now, because that's exactly what it was. It was a puck battle going into the corner. Both players were off balance, and unfortunately, it came out poor. I don't like that. I don't like that being 5 in a game. Obviously, might be just a bit biased. I don't think I'm being biased. That is, I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a bad hit. I don't think that warrants 5 in a game. David Pasternak did not return to the lineup. Probably should mention that right off the bat. I hope he's okay. That's all I can really say, unfortunately. And then, yeah. Again, couple penalties in the third period. It was Coyle, Lindholm, and Marchand who got 3 goals. Brad Marchand got the empty net goal. Yeah, that. Oh my gosh. That Elias Lindholm goal. Oh. Beautiful pass from Charlie Coyle to feed Brad Marchand and Lindholm in the neutral zone. 2-on-1 for Boston. Marchand to Lindholm just took Charlie Lindgren a good 3 feet out of his crease. Credit to Lindgren, almost made that stop. But you have your glove till about here, give or take, roughly, in a net that is 6 feet by 4 feet, or something like that. I don't know the exact dimensions of a hockey net. Oh my. Yeah, I mean, Marchand feeds Lindholm. Lindholm pulls Lindgren all the way out of his box, or all the way out of his crease, and just tucks it home beautifully. And then, not too dissimilar of a play for the third goal. Marchand, I think it was Marchand, Zacha, Coyle, had a 3-on-1 going. Zacha comes down the boards with it, feeds Marchand. Marchand takes the shot, just narrowly tips it off the board, or not off the boards, off the post, and Coyle's there to tap in the rebound. 3-1 Boston. And then, obviously, empty net goal, blah, blah, blah. Brad Marchand scored, completely unassisted. I was not expecting this. I mean, I'll take the 2 points in the standings, as I'm sure the team will. Yeah, what a game. That was a great game, all around. Swayman faced 13 shots, stopped 12 of them. Wouldn't hate to see him stop a couple more. Obviously, then you're looking at risk first reward here. Higher save percentage, but shooting percentages have been going through the roof, so I mean, over 900. Actually, that might be over 915, I think. So that's actually going to be really nice. I mean, he played great all throughout this game. Washington got a singular shot on that power play. Or, sorry, no, they didn't even register a shot. They had chances. They had chances. Didn't get a shot on goal for the entire power play, though. Yeah, I mean, that's just a stellar performance when for 15 minutes you're missing your David Pastrnak replacement, and for the final 32 minutes you're missing David Pastrnak. Yeah, I mean, for the context of that game, beautiful. Just, mwah. Yeah, I mean, I got nothing else to say about that. This team's rolling. 7-2-1 in their last 10, 8-2-1 in their last 11. Keep this momentum up. Obviously, of course, you're getting hot right as you come into the Christmas break. Hopefully you can keep the momentum coming out of it. They do face Columbus before they face Washington again. I think I mentioned that they face Washington. They face Columbus first. They might have another game. I'm going to be honest, I haven't looked past the Christmas break. I've only looked up to now, really. I just know from the broadcast they mentioned the next couple of games. And yeah, that's going to do it. If you've made it this far, I'm going to try and cover the World Juniors as best I can. Team Canada in particular. Just try and do something different. I don't have a red jersey, which, now that I'm thinking about it, could be a slight challenge. But yeah, I'm gonna try and cover it. Might just be like some of my other NHL news videos, where I'm over on my other side, where I'm on the other side of the room, filming. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna call this the first half of the season. It's not quite, but it's near enough. I've had fun. There have been 49 people subscribed to my channel since I've started in the first half of the season. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And yeah, let's see what the second half has in store. Have a good one.